So, Andy, good morning and thank you very much. You've just come out of the Central Criminal Court where 4 people accused of the conspiracy to murder Sasha Johnson appeared via video link. Could you possibly tell StreetMic what occurred?
Big up StreetMic.
Big up StreetMic, long time.
Big up StreetMic. Give him the thumbs up, like, comment, share, and also click the notification bell so when he goes live, you'll be able to be there.
Keep on doing the great work. You're creating awareness.
Big up StreetMic. Big up StreetMic.
Click your notification bell.
Yeah, I mean, so there's a lot to understand, but they were explaining that there are various stages in this case that have got to be observed, and the most significant is that they've set it down. I mean, it's going to be public record, so I might as well just put it out. So the 5th of November, there will be a case management hearing before this court, unless it's deemed that it should go to another court, but it sounds like it is going to be at this court. So on the 5th of November, they will manage the case and they'll set it down for trial, because there are considerations I didn't think about in this case, and that is that there are custody time limits, and those custody time limits run out for one defendant in January and the other 3 defendants in February. So it has to be set down for trial, and my understanding from what the judge was indicating to the prosecutor and the counsel for the defendants is that they will set down a 6-week trial on the 5th of November. So at that case management hearing, they will decide what best fits in terms of the custody time limit, and then we'll go from there. I have to say, I was a bit disappointed to go into the court, and I mean, there are some of us that have appeared here for Sasha and in relation to the family, but not specifically representing the family per se. And the amount of people that were allowed in was so restricted. There were 4 people in the court. So there were 3 people for the defendants, and then myself. I was allowed to go in, as somebody here for Sasha, and I'm really disappointed by that. I really am, because it has a throwback, I think, to this Smorlax series that went out on the BBC, where we saw a depiction of people who were prevented, I don't know if you remember this, but prevented from getting into court. And I know that COVID is an issue. I know that COVID is a real situation, whatever people may think. I know that there are people that are experiencing symptoms. I believe that I had what may have been flu or COVID at some point last year, but the point I'm trying to make is this. For justice to be done, it has to be seen to be done. And if people want to be able to feel a part of the proceedings, then they need to be allowed into court to observe those proceedings. Because I've come out here now to give your viewers and my friends here what is effectively second-hand information. And yes, it will be reported at some point, but that's neither here nor there. If people want to come and be involved in court to see it themselves, they need to be allowed to do that. And I just think that it's such a shame. I'm privileged that I was allowed to be able to go in, but it shouldn't be the case in legal situations. I mean, access to justice, has to be, given on all levels, and that has to be the case. It can't be the norm that we only allow a select number of people in based on somebody's on a whim, somebody's decision that, well, yes, you can come in, you can come in, but you can't. That can't be allowed. I think that something needs to be addressed, because you see, the fact is, and I hope that people won't mind me saying this, particularly the family, is that while the defendants are represented in there, Sasha isn't. Because people will say, yes, she's represented by the state. She's not represented by the state. She's not represented by the state, and I need to make that really clear. The state represent the state. And so while it's fantastic to have a prosecutor in there who's doing his job, nobody is representing Sasha, and that's my overriding concern. So when it comes down to it, nobody should be prevented from accessing a court building. I mean,
a couple of quick questions. Yeah, when you say no one is representing Sasha at this moment in time, I'm assuming that's because, but you can correct me, I'm being devil's advocate, I'm assuming that's because it's the Crown or R versus someone. When it's like that, isn't it normally the state who takes on the case? Therefore, it's the state prosecutors who prosecute.
Yes, I mean, yes, that is the case, but I just feel that because of the situation that we're in, I mean, in many situations, when somebody faces a charge, particularly if they're innocent, you're going to want to have supporters there. And if supporters or people who are close to that person are not allowed to be there, then effectively they're not there, they're not being heard. As I say, I'm Sasha's PA, and that doesn't make me special and different, but there are things and situations, just like some of her friends, that I will have seen and been involved in that no one else will have seen, but I've not spoken to anybody. I'm not volunteering to speak to anybody because there's nothing that I have to say in that respect. However, I just say that to say that I don't feel that Sasha is really represented here. I mean, I hope that I've represented her in some way today by just being here and hearing what I've just heard. I've heard some stuff which is encouraging, just in the sense, because my concern about this was that it's all happened very quickly. I have no issue with people if they're guilty, being arrested very quickly and being brought to book. I have no issue with that, but the evidence has to be correct. I'm now learning. I remember reading that there was CCTV evidence in this case. That's now been confirmed because it was mentioned in court. There are various bits and pieces that are going to be disclosed to the defence by the prosecution. If this is a cut and shut case, fine. But if it's not, what I'd hate to see, to be quite honest with you, is somebody get away with committing this crime because somebody didn't do their job properly.
My second question to you, and it's mainly for my viewers. The accused are appearing via video link. Do you get that opportunity in the court to see those video links yourself?
Yes, you do. I can't see it very clear, and as you see, I wear glasses. I mean, when I sat in the public gallery, because that's where I was placed, the video link screen was on the other side of the room, and it's quite small. I could see two of the defendants who were together, represented by one lawyer, and then the other two were represented individually by separate lawyers. Two of them, who I presume were in Belmarsh or somewhere like that, were, from what I could see, appeared to be in sort of jumpsuit, tracksuit type things, grey tracksuit, prison issue tracksuits, but I couldn't see them very clearly.
And how many defendants appeared via video link today? Was it 3 or 4?
I only saw 2, but there were smaller images at the bottom of the screen, and I don't know who all those individuals were. What I do know is that the prosecutor and all of the lawyers weren't in court today. They were all on video link, and 2 of the defendants I could see, they were on video link. But I know that the other 2 were represented by one lawyer, but the others were represented by their counsel, and the counsel were also on the video link.
In closing, Andy, you've had the opportunity now to come down to the court to see the legal process now starting off. And I appreciate what you've said. You may not be happy with certain aspects, specifically because the Crown or the state is now fighting the case on behalf of Sasha. But in general, are you happy that things are coming together? The reason I'm asking the question, last time we spoke, as you remember, I went to Concert Road. Myself and Clive Morrison, we appealed for witnesses to step forward after the police had stated issues about people not coming forward. And what you said was that you were concerned that there may not be evidence being disclosed because at least 30 people were at the party and someone must have evidence.
Yeah, I mean, do you know what? By the sounds of it, it sounds to me like the prosecution have a lot of evidence, and it sounds like that evidence still is yet to get into the hands of the defence, so that they can mount whatever their defence is going to look like. I would constantly appeal to people that if they have any information, give it. Please give it, because you know what, this stuff cannot be allowed to go unchallenged. It can't. We can't sit here and be going around shooting people and thinking that that's okay. And it doesn't matter, the colour of people's skins, because people want to make it a black and a white thing. It's not about black and white, because guns and violence know no colour. They have no bounds. When we were talking about a knife crime epidemic in Glasgow, which is predominantly white, no one was saying that was white on white violence. So let's get away from this black on black crime. The fact is, a woman, a mother, and an activist is laying in hospital having been shot. Now, it doesn't matter who the individuals are, and I'm not going to convict these people in my mind until the evidence does.
Let's see the evidence.
Yeah, let's see the evidence. If the evidence convicts them, then that is enough for me. But if there's no evidence that convicts them, as far as I'm concerned, they are innocent until they're proven guilty.
In closing, look into the camera. And you know, I like to be fair to everyone I interview. Is there anything else you would like to add that I haven't asked before I close?
No, not really. I mean, I'm just out here. With a couple of other friends that are really important and special to Sash. You know, people like Mo here, who a lot of people will have seen on a lot of the stuff. You know, because he was by her side all the time, and it's really important that people recognise that. None of us out here are any special and different. We're all here for one reason and one reason alone. But
We've now got Mo, we've got Spencer, and we've got Andy. So Mo, tell me how you're feeling now that you found out from Andy exactly what has occurred in the court today.
Well, to be
Hold
honest...
the microphone.
All right, cheers, thank you. Well, to be honest, the court date is on the 5th of November, so I mean we just have to see until then, and what evidence they actually have against these people, and hoping that at the end of the day there is some justice and it can be dealt with as soon as possible.
yeah.
That's what we're hoping for, and at the same time hopefully Sasha would have recovered by then, and hopefully she can be here as well to have her say and have her statement taken down of the whole incident that occurred, you know. And yeah,
Excellent. I can see you're very emotional.
I am. I'll
And-
be honest with you. I'm heartbroken. We all are, you know, and it's been depressing, but we just have to stay strong and stick together and try to be as positive as possible and not try to think of the worst.
Yeah, that's correct. Spencer, is there anything, sir, that you would like to add?
Just that, obviously, Andy's told us that they are trying to get the case dismissed. Knowing how this stuff works, they're always going to attempt to try and get the case dismissed. That's standard. But it's nothing that we're worried about. The court process will take its process, and we'll take it from there. But obviously, you know, we wait and see what happens in November 25th, right?
No, 5th.
November the 5th. So we wait and see what happens.
It's going to be fireworks on that day.
We'll wait and see what happens. But yeah, all go. Yeah, Andy?
And in closing, Andy?
Do you know what? I think I've said all I need to say. I'd still encourage people, you know, if you have information, pass the information. I would encourage people to, you know, support the GoFundMe. Let's not forget about the GoFundMe that's out there, that's set up by Marvina Newton. And that's really it. We'll see what happens on November the 5th.
I did forget to ask. Tell us some more about the GoFundMe and how that's progressing, because the last time we spoke, you said you was getting close to a figure that had been set, but where are we at the moment?
I think the GoFundMe has just gone over £10,000 so far. The target is 20, and you know, obviously it's designed because when she starts to recover, you know, she's going to need that support. But also, there's 2 kids out there, you know. So whatever our thoughts are about what is going on behind us are immaterial to, you know, where we're going now, because our focus is really very much on Sasha.
Thank you very much. So for all of you who are watching, my name is Wendell Daniel, and we've been coming to you live and direct from outside the Central Criminal Court here in London, or the Old Bailey. And we've had the opportunity to speak with Andy Morris, Spencer, and also Mo. And all of them love Sasha very much, and she has played a very important part of all of their lives. And what I will do is that we will keep you updated as much as we can. We're not going to be drip feeding information. Only when relevant information is available, we can tell you. And what Andy has said to me earlier on, that Sasha is making progress, and that is enough information for now. But what I would like to say is thank you for watching StreetMic. And don't forget, if you like what you're seeing, give me the thumbs up, make your comments down below, share and follow. And those of you will know that I've just started a new YouTube channel. We only started last week. And if you like what I'm doing, you can find me on YouTube, StreetMic live stream. And if you want to watch StreetMic, please remember to switch on the notification bell on YouTube and also on Facebook. But thank you very much for watching, and we will be back tomorrow from the mass protest in London. We will be back on Sunday also, where there's going to be a big dance protest in London. StreetMic will be all over the streets. There's nothing we can't do, and we thank you very much. Hold on, I'll get Spencer to make one more announcement.
Guys, if you're watching this, go to GoFundMe, search for Sasha Johnson's GoFundMe page, which was put up by Marvina Newton, and please help us help her young sons. Yeah. So thanks, guys.
Big up StreetMic.
Big up StreetMic, long time, long time.
Big up StreetMic. Give him the thumbs up, like, comment, share, and also click the notification bell so when he goes live, you will be able to be there.
Keep on doing the great work. You're creating awareness. You're
Big up StreetMic. Big up StreetMic.
Click your notification bell.